Okay, we are recording. All right, so if you guys want to turn your videos on, you can do that down in the bottom so that I can see your beautiful faces, but if not, that's okay. So I just wanted to, I've been getting a lot of questions about how to go into businesses and how to talk face-to-face with people and what to bring, and I wanted to touch on that and touch a little bit on vendor events. So we have a super long, I shouldn't say super long, we have about an hour training in the back office. If you, I mean not in the back office, in the Bye Bye Big Pharma business training page. If you go there and you click on the units tab and go to vendor events, there's a really nice one called Events 101. And that one is all about how to find vendor events, how to book them, kind of what to say in your emails when you try to book them. It also goes over what to bring, where to get supplies and materials, marketing, posters, all of that stuff. So if you plan to do vendor events, I would strongly suggest that you watch that video. It's a really, really good one. So I'll kind of touch on vendor events, but I'm not going to go a whole lot into detail on that just because we have a really good video for that already. So I wanted to have Cashman come on here and help me with this one because I actually haven't had a whole lot of experience of going into stores and talking to them. And so when people ask me questions about it, I don't have a whole lot of personal experience to give them. And she is very good at that, and that's what she does. So I thought I would have her come on here and give more of a personal experience of how she does it. But I'm just going to start off with some things that you can do to market in the public, and then I'll let her take over and talk about how she does it. So for me, my biggest thing is just being a walking advertisement. So when I go out in public, even just to Target or especially like flying on an airplane or anywhere that I would come in contact with people, I try to wear my shirts around. So I have a couple Hempworks shirts. I have a couple like CBD shirts. Some are funny. Those ones often get people to laugh or ask you questions about it. And then I have a Hempworks jacket that I bought. So I live in Minnesota. It's always cold, so that I always wear that all over the place. I probably get asked about it, not every day, but if I'm wearing a shirt somewhere, like one of the affiliates on our team actually is, oh my gosh, Brianna. Oh, that's not Brianna. Someone's cute little baby. If I wore my shirt on an airplane, and one of our affiliates on our team is actually someone I met on the airplane, and she asked me like about my shirt, and at the time I was flying to convention, so she was talking to me about that, and then she ended up joining. But it's a conversation starter. It gets people to notice and ask questions, especially like when I wear the one that says plants over poison, and there's big hemp leaf, but sometimes people would be like, and you can explain the difference to them then. But I find that wearing the shirts are good. I also have a car decal, and I know that Cashman has a really awesome one. If she maybe would, do you have a picture of it on your computer at all? You're muted, so hold on, let me unmute you. Okay.
I think I should have one still saved on my phone that I sent to you, so I can post it to the group chat.
Okay. So hers is awesome. Mine is more basic. It just says got CBD, and then it has my phone number. Hers is like really cool, and if you want a really cool one, she'll show you the picture of it. But that's another thing, and they're not very expensive. I mean, hers was more because it's really cool and it's like custom and like super. Mine was only $9. I think hers was quite a bit more. So there's a range of what you want and how much it can cost. But if you just want to get something basic with just, you know, CBD and your phone number, it shouldn't be that much money. Business cards. So make yourself some business cards. I got 500 of them for $10 on Vistaprint. They're pretty simple. You can go in depth or simple. There's a couple examples of those on the back office. Anywhere I go, anyone I talk to, I hand out my business card. So even if it's people that just don't seem that interested in the business, but are, you know, just questioning you about the product even a little bit, I give them my business card. They're, you know, not expensive to hand out. And then if people are like thinking about it again later on or have somebody else that asks them about it, they can whip out that business card. So everywhere I go, I'm always handing out business cards. I think that is all that I want to talk about for like branding and marketing and yourself. If you want to take over, Cashman, and talk a little bit about, and I might ask you some questions too, but if you want to just talk about kind of like how you find your businesses that you go into, what businesses you like would pick, and that kind of thing.
Okay, hi guys. So when I first started back in September, I was like, my main focus was to connect with people that I knew, like, so my doctor, my chiropractor, you know, the gal who does like my facials, like, because I was like, okay, I got to kind of go in slow and not just kind of like, because I didn't know what I was doing. So I went to my family doctor because he is in the middle of medicine. So he's not pushy with some things. And, you know, he kind of just goes with what his patients towards. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity for me to approach him with CBD because I knew he didn't have it in his office. So I prepared myself mentally, put my little speech together, and I went in with anything that I can find through our back office, printed anything out, took brochures, took my business cards, and I had it all neat for him in like one of these little, you know, folders that you can get at Target. So it was all organized because you are trying to be professional and you want to be prepared. So that's how I started with him. I think he was the first person that I actually approached with this. And through time, you know, I went to my chiropractor and so forth. But the main thing that you guys really have to do is kind of do your research with who you want to approach. We had a conversation in regards to like pet companies. If you are in a smaller community and you have non-franchised pet stores, so not PetSmart, not Petco, I've kind of approached the managers there, but you're like, oh, you have to go through corporate. And that's just another beast because I work for Trader Joe's. So I know how that goes because we have people coming in all the time saying, hey, you guys want to, you know, have our product on your shelf. And it's kind of like, you're going about this all wrong. So there's a place out here called Pet Headquarters, family owned. I called them and I was like, hey, do you guys have CBD? I played it as if I was a customer interested in a product and I wanted to see if they carried it. They did. I asked what it was. I researched that brand through the internet. And then I was like, okay, it's like comparing apples to oranges and we're the apples, we're the shiny apple. So I went in one day physically. It's a process. You can't just like, you know, gung ho. So then I went in one day, scoped it out. I wanted to see how they were basically branding that particular brand. It was in a case up on the wall where customers couldn't physically touch it because it's so expensive. And then step 3, came home, got everything together, got my little folder together with brochures, information, got ready, called, and I was like, hey, is the manager available? They'll be in on Tuesday. Perfect. I went on Tuesday with all my information. I took a bag of the dog treats, and I took bottles of our CBD oil. I personally don't really like or push the bacon flavor. A lot of dogs are sensitive to a lot of things. It could be the smallest thing. So I let them know that we have the 250, but I took a 500 in with me. Sat with one of the managers for about 45 minutes, went through everything, talked. I gave them the bag of dog treats, and then it's kind of just a wait and see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully they'll call you back, or they won't call you back, or they'll call you and say they're interested or not interested. And that's basically how I did it. And that's how I continue to do it. I sit on the phone sometimes and I just call places. I've called all the vape shops in my area. Either they're not interested, they're not ready yet, or they make their own. So that's a complete bummer a bit. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I've been working on my doctor since September. Praise the Lord, he's finally committed, and I hope he doesn't change his mind because I'm going to be so pissed. So he's committed to spending a certain amount of money. He doesn't want to be an affiliate. He doesn't want to go wholesale, because what he's been doing, he's been referring his patients to me, which I'm fine with, but his patients are so old. They don't know how to use the internet, and it's become a cluster. But just be persistent. That's the key. Don't give up on, you know, these bigger people that you approach, like your doctor's office. It's not going to be a one-hit wonder where they're on board right away. Do follow-ups, you know, whether you walk in and you say hi, or continue, like maybe every 3 months, go to the place, the establishment that you've connected with. It's kind of more of a friendly reminder, because, you know, everyone's busy. You came in, you talked to them, great, you know, but things happen. So follow-ups are awesome. Leaving information, go in, be prepared. If they do carry CBD, do a comparison chart so that when you go and you talk to them, you can be like, so they know that you've done your research, that you know what they are selling to the public. I did that with my vet. Unfortunately, they're afraid of, they're like, you know, a lot of doctors' offices are getting kind of like audited because of the opioid crisis. And they weren't comfortable with carrying CBD, even though he flat out said, so many of my patients are asking about CBD for their pets. And it's like, oh, all these old senior dogs that you can be like giving a more comfortable extended life. Oh, it's so heartbreaking to me, because he's helped me with my senior dog. So he just knows where I am with this. And I'm like, okay, if you guys ever change your mind, you know, don't forget. And I'm going to write a letter to him, you know, saying, hey, the new farm bill that came out, you guys don't be so scared anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's these steps that you have to take that in the long run, I believe will pay off. Going back to marketing things, I know through chat, you know, all the new affiliates who are coming in who are talking about business cards and the brochures, Vistaprint and any other outlet that you guys can find besides My Daily Choice through back office to order these things, you're going to save money and you can customize. So what I did was I created my business card, and then I wanted to order more brochures. So I went back to Vista and I made mine mirror my business card. It's kind of more of a visual thing for when you hand these things out to businesses. So my business card matches the flyer, my brochure that I made. And then I went a step further and I made a flyer, because we have a lot of community boards at doctors' offices, like restaurants. So wherever I go, if they have a community board, I'm like scooting other business cards over. I'm like, sorry, I'm taking up real estate. So having things match is a great visual thing for people to see. They remember you. If we use the HempWorks brochure that doesn't match the business card, it kind of seems like it's two different companies. So it's kind of confusing to some people. And you can want to keep it simple, stupid. That's something that we learned in art school. Keep it simple. People will remember you. What else? I know I'm talking fast and I apologize. I always do.
That's okay. I think those are awesome tips. I love all of the work that you've put in as far as like the brochures and everything. And I would love to even post a copy of them on the business page because you did just an awesome job making all that stuff.
Someone today asked, I have a doctor through our chat. Do they need to show a license or something to sell CBD? Did you see that today?
I didn't see that, no.
Okay. I don't remember who posted that question, but for anyone, if you're on, I had been talking through compliance via email because my family doctor asked the exact same question. I didn't get the answer I was looking through for compliance because I think it's a liability and a legal issue that they basically tap dance around. I will give you the direct answer that I got via email, and I will post this too for whoever was asking the question so that you have it. Basically, it says, thank you for following up. We need to ensure that your friend understands our product is not medication and can't be used to treat or heal. Since each region, meaning state, varies, we can't provide legal counsel on specific documentation. Thank you again for reaching out. So what I did to kind of put my doctor at ease, I went and I blew up our FDA disclosure statement. And then I also did one in regards to the THC disclosure that states, the percentage. And then I went to Staples and I bought one of these little plastic stands so that I can put front and back, and then he can put it next to the display of the HempWorks oils that he will have in his office. So
that's so
he's more
awesome.
I think like our doctor's offices and our chiropractors and, our massage centers, they don't want to do any of the legwork when it comes down to it. I think that is one of the main hesitations that they have. They don't want to deal with the money and the transactions and what they need to post and what they don't need to post. So I think that everybody who wants to take this route, you kind of really need to do all of the legwork for them. You need to make this as easy as possible for them so that all they're doing is, oh, I'm just buying from you and that's it. Everything else is done. And you say, yep, I'm going to do it all for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And those look great. You did a wonderful job with that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to think. That's really it. It's just, I'm better going to face and going out than, Facebook because my followers are so little and getting more people to be friends. It's not my method, which sucks, but you kind of just got to do what you got to do and just have faith.
Well, and I find that a lot of people just are better face-to-face. I'm not. I'm just a social media person. I hide behind my computer. That's just where I'm more comfortable. When I get face-to-face, I just sometimes get nervous. And so I think that's a good, where you said just have it all prepared, because then you have it all there to show them. Yep. And all written down. And yeah. I also wanted to add that I think it's great that she actually goes into the businesses. So a lot of people just call, and the problem with that is it's a lot easier to say no to a telemarketer than it is to someone coming into your business, especially when they can see that product and they have the comparison. Whereas if you just call, they're just going to want to quickly get you off the phone and say, no, sorry. Sure. So it's much better to go face-to-face. Also, you're going to reach a much bigger audience if you get these products into stores, because you are only one person, and it doesn't matter how big of a following you have, you are only one person, and you are only going to be able to reach so many people. So when you get it into these businesses, you're really, really expanding out to people that you would never have came in contact with before at all. And a lot of people trust businesses more than just someone online. So if you see someone selling something on Facebook, you might think, oh, but then if you see your doctor who you've trusted for the last 10 years selling it, you're going to think, okay, if he's in this, he's got, you know, this has to be a good quality product. So a lot of us know how to research ourselves, but a lot of other, you know, like especially the older generations, they don't necessarily have access to do a lot of that research themselves. They don't use computers or anything like that. And so they just have to trust what businesses and their doctor and other businesses that they've trusted for a long time, what their word is. So getting in front of people is great. Had some other notes. I'm just gonna look at these. Oh, for businesses. So I know that Cashman had said that you said that your doctor didn't want to sign as an affiliate.
Nope. He
So
he doesn't want to, like, yeah.
How are you going about that?
So I talked with you because I was just like, in the long run, because this is a business for each and every one of us. We want to make money. We want to help people. So I didn't know which way was the best way for him to sign up right off the bat on the first order, or if he should just buy the products through me as a preferred customer. And from my understanding, because he wants to spend the first round, he said he'll invest $1,000. So I said, okay. So, you know, I think I'm going to have him go as a preferred customer. And, you know, if the review comes back from his patients, like, okay, I'm coming back for my second bottle and he's got to buy more product, then I think at that point, I might just have him become an affiliate and just, you know, I'm going to let him decide, but for the first order, just a preferred customer.
Yeah. So I know that with wholesale packs, now I don't think he's going wholesale, but I know with wholesale packs, you automatically become an affiliate. So just so you guys know, when you are talking to these businesses and they want to buy wholesale packs, they automatically become an affiliate and it waives their affiliate fee. So they don't have to pay that $20 fee to start up. It kind of depends how you want to go about it. Some places want to be affiliates because they feel like they have more protection, they make more money off of it. You know, however they want to do it is totally up to them. So, so I just wanted to kind of go over like a little tidbit on vendor events, and then before I do that, I also wanted to say that when you go into some of these stores, don't be afraid to tell them that you're willing to come back. Like if they don't want to talk right now, let them know that you're willing to come back and talk to them. You can hold information events for them too. If I had watched a training last night about someone going into a vape shop, and then she held an event for the whole like all of the customers. She put like a little flyer up saying, I'm doing a free CBD information event session on this day, and people can come in to learn more about the products that they're going to be carrying. That way people are more comfortable with it. They can kind of look at the products and test them out and that kind of thing. So that's an option too. Vendor events. How many of you have done a vendor event? Anyone?
Just did my first one.
How did it go?
It was slow, but it was a really great networking experience.
I know Brianna's done one because we've done one together. She's just being muted right now.
I've done 3.
3? How did they go?
One was really good. The second and third weren't bad, but usually when you don't have a lot of sales or there's not a lot of traffic, I usually end up at least passing out cards, which talking to people and sharing with them is kind of the main reason. You know, when I sold 4 bottles at the one that did really well, I didn't expect to sell anything. I actually almost didn't even take my stock with me. I was glad I had it because I had people ask. But, I mean, they're fine. I think with this, unless you have the money to have a bunch of stock, that's typically what you're doing is you're just sharing about your product. and
Yeah.
then you can have them order online if you want. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever even had product on me was at that one where I sold 4. But they go pretty well. People like it.
Yeah, so me and Brianna have done a couple together. It's really hit or miss for me. So we did one together and we sold 8 bottles. And then we did one together and we sold nothing. So it's hit or miss. I had been looking at, there's this page called Minnesota Vendor Events and on Facebook, and I had found some vendor events on there, and I was kind of talking to people about that, like, oh, go find your state vendor event page. There is a lot of vendor events on there. The problem that I'm having is that you have to book the good ones pretty far in advance. So all of the ones that I was finding on there for like this month or next month were all kind of not as good events, and I think that's why they don't fill up very quick. So I've been trying to find events that are being booked for like April and May already, because those seem to be the events that are filling up quick and they're better events.
And they're more expensive.
Yeah. So that is what sucks, is that a lot of times they are more expensive, the good events. Me and Brianna did an event the other night that was only $25. We didn't get any customers, but I think it's because there was another CBD company that was there. And it was frustrating because they were like across from us, and they were Ultracell. I don't know if you guys know what that company is, but they have like 9 fillers and are water soluble, which is, we know that's not good, but they had this huge 9-foot banner and this big extravagant setup. And then we were over there just with we have like nice signs and stuff, but it was like, we just looked stupid next to them, and that really ruined it for us because they had tons of people at their table and it was all about the display. So
what is their
something
by chance?
What?
You remember what their sign said? Does it have the name on it?
It had like a big bottle of their CBD. It was like a 9-foot like banner, had a big bottle of their CBD. Well, it was the company Ultracell. I'm sure their name was on the sign.
Because I've been thinking, I wanted to mention this, but I've been thinking, instead of my banner that has HempWorks on it, I really would like to get one that just says CBD oil.
Yeah.
Because if people don't know what HempWorks is, they might not stop.
Yeah.
And so if you have a big, big sign that says bold in their face, CBD oil, they're like, oh, I've kind of heard of that. Let me go check that out. I really think I want to get a banner that doesn't have HempWorks, just HempWorks on it.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's a good idea. So I have like my big sign that like the one from the Rockstar page, which if you guys aren't familiar, if you go on the Rockstar page, which you should all be a part of, in their files section, there's tons of material in there. So they have the signs, the graphics for the signs that you can go and get printed. And I just took the graphics and printed mine on Vistaprint. I think they were like $20 for the smaller sign. And then my big sign was like $40, but they also always have coupons for Vistaprint. So look for those. But yeah, so I think I also really liked the idea that Winter had. She posted it the other day that she made these little coffee mugs, and they had coffee mugs, a coffee, and a creamer in them. And she was selling them for, I think, $20.
Yeah, $20. I also put little chocolates in them too, and my business card.
And how many did you sell of them?
I actually sold 6 of them.
Awesome. Yeah, so just different ways of getting your stuff out there. We had the sample packs with us. I personally don't usually bring a whole lot of product on hand. I actually bring my laptop, and I like to run all of my orders through the website right there. So I just take their card from them, and I don't do the whole process that some of the other people do. I actually just log right into my website right there, check out what they want, and type it all in for them. I ask for their card and their driver's license, because then I can get their address and everything right off their driver's license. And then I take one of my business cards and I just write their account number and their password on the back of it and give it to them so that they can re-log back in and reorder when they're ready to. But this gives you volume for rank, commissions, all of that. Did someone have a question?
Yeah, I was wanting to ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
What do you say? Because I've attempted that the last event that I had, the one where I sold 4 bottles, and nobody wanted to order online.
So
How do you approach it?
So we have our in-person price is $89. And if they order online and get the 30-day money-back guarantee, it's $69. So most of our people actually wanted to order online because it's cheaper and they get the 30-day money-back guarantee. If they're buying the bottle from you, they don't get that. So there's that risk, and it's also more money.
So they already wanted to order for sure?
Yeah.
Because I think, I don't know what it was, but I was kind of like, and they were like, well, do you have any in stock? And I would say, I don't know, something like, no, but I can, help walk you through their website real quick and we can get it ordered for you. And they would all be like, nah, it's okay. And I'm like, come back. Like, like, don't leave,
Yeah, so they usually, in my experience, they say, okay, well, I would like to order that, or I would like to purchase that. And then we would give them the option of, okay, you can either, here's the choices. And on my sign, it says 89 today or 69 online or whatever. So we give them the choices. You can buy it today and take it home with you, and it's $89, or you can order it online through our website and it's $69, and you get the 30-day money back guarantee. It takes, before we were saying it takes 3 to 5 days for shipping. Now you have to say 7 to 10. And then they have a choice. So I would have some bottles with you if you can, but it's not a necessity. If you don't have the money to have the bottles, it's not a necessity to have them there, because most people are fine with ordering online. But
what if, because I had thought about doing this at my next one, if I only had like just a couple bottles, and they wanted to purchase it like right then, they didn't want to have to wait for it to be shipped. What do you think about walking them through on the website and having them order so they have the 30-day money back guarantee, but shipping it to your address?
Yes, so that's another option, is that you can do that. I think, if they're okay with that, giving you their card, and you don't want to not tell them, but you'll have to be careful about how you word that, because they might get a little confused. But if you're able to explain that to them, that you're going to be ordering it and having it shipped to your house, and then they can have that one to take home so that they still have the guarantee.
Well, I was talking about letting them do it on the website like a regular order.
Yeah.
But basically fronting the bottle, just making sure that my address goes in as their address before we click submit and they pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it might be an option for people that didn't want to wait.
It is an option. Yep.
The
other thing that we've kind of ran into is people are like, well, why is it $89 today and $69 on your website? And a lot of people are like, don't we usually get a cheaper price here versus on your website? So we just told them, that this is our personal stock and we don't get any commissions on it. So if we pay $69 for it and sell it to you for $69, we're making nothing. And a lot of people really, they understood that. They weren't like, oh, well. So, does anyone have any questions about any of this, going into, yes? Hold on, you're still muted. Let me unmute you. There you
Okay.
go.
Through the chat today, there was a conversation about like someone at an event swiped a card versus chipping a card and people using a credit card at events. Okay, awesome, Heather. Well, so when you guys do these events, I yet have not done one. So when people want to pay with credit card, how do you, and they want to pay with credit card, like buying product off of you. How do you guys do that? Did you buy the little swiper doodah that you hook to your phone?
So I personally only do cash if they're buying it there because I don't have one of those swiper things.
Okay.
The other option is to PayPal people right there. If they want to use their card, you can just send them a quick PayPal invoice and they can pay it right there. But I know Heather has that swiper. So how do you like that?
Well, I had liked it
Yeah.
before I got an email saying that somebody disputed the flipping charge.
Okay.
I guess it was a loophole because I had swiped it instead of like inserting it with the chip. I don't know, but Square is they're taking care of that for me. They're not making me pay that $69 back. But they're like, you have to have a chip reader instead of swiping it. And I'm like, dude, this is stupid. Like they're standing there and you have like they sign it and everything. So I don't know why it can't be upheld, but the swiper's fine, I think. I didn't even think about doing it via PayPal with an invoice or anything like that, which is, it's an option. The only piece of advice that I have for Square is do not put, because like when I got that email today about the disputing the charge, it let me pull up the receipt, and I even had CBD oil listed on there because Square will shut your account down. So I went, actually after that event, I went in and I changed all of my products so I didn't have to type it in every time. I changed it just to say 500, 750 dog treat, that type of thing, just very vague so that I knew what it was, but didn't say like actual CBD or hemp or anything like that. And I absolutely cannot put my name on it. It's just my name, Heather McLean. Because if I put cannabis on there, they would shut me down like in a second. So as far as the chip reader goes, I mean, it's good if you're going to be selling product. It's very quick usually, and most people use Square all the time, so it's very fast because you don't even have to get them to put in an email or a cell phone number or whatever for a receipt, because so many people use it so often it automatically just sends that to them. So it's usually
Where do you buy your little? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Where do you buy your little swiper?
Well,
Where did you get yours?
I had one. Well, usually when you first get a Square account, they'll send you one free.
Okay, Square.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
when
free.
you just download the app and you can get it for free. I just haven't.
Yeah, this is what the app looks like if y'all want to see it. It's probably going to be backwards, but it's just a little tile. Let's see this little tile right here. It's like the little square with the gray box. And then if you pull it up, it's being slow here. If you pull it up, it'll typically open. There we go. And it shows this screen, if you can see it. There we go. So you can see it. And it's where I have all of my, where I listed it, creamer, CBD, like 500. That way I can just tap it. And, I don't have to do all this stuff for it. So, and I have the retail prices on here. So it's not, I don't get confused or have to change that.
Do you know how much the insert is?
For the chip reader?
Yeah.
Well, when I got that email, it said it was $50, and I was like, dude, I would rather just send him a PayPal invoice. I'll tell you, it's easy to do the Square, like to charge their card. But I don't want to pay $50 for that thing. They should send those out if you have to use them. Yeah. In my opinion, they should send them out to you. But JJ, she's on my team in the chat. She said they sent her a free one. So I don't know if that was one that it was different than the one that you can get for free. I haven't looked into it. I haven't had a chance to look into it yet. But as far as ease, I do like it. And usually, like I said, Cashman, they'll send it to you for free, like your first reader. But it is a swiper, I think. So just beware, if it's a chip, you can't insert it anywhere.
And I guess another option that we have is we could use, I don't know what it's called, but the payment method through Facebook and Messenger that you can do.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of
okay.
PayPal. I've never done it. It's a pain in my tush when I've tried to sign up for it. So, but
I also really like Venmo. If you guys are familiar, Venmo is super quick. I actually prefer that over Facebook.
Yeah, I don't like Facebook Pay.
Yeah.
The other thing I do want to show you guys real quick is this where it says charge. You tap that, and it'll pull up another screen. Come on. See that screen? See where it says manually swipe?
Mm-hmm.
I know it's backwards.
Yeah.
But if you tap that or manual credit card entry, you can actually manually enter it, but it charges you more percentage.
So for every swipe that you do, is it charged?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like PayPal. It's like 2.7, I think, percent.
So you should just use Venmo then, because Venmo's completely free. There's no fees.
But people like
Is that
PayPal and Square has the
Protection.
Yeah.
So does Venmo. It's actually owned by PayPal.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
is it
So
VENMO?
VENMO. But again, a lot of people don't have Venmo, so I guess the PayPal might be the best way to go, just because you can email them, and even if they don't have PayPal, they can still pay the invoice through their email, you know? So whereas Venmo, I think you have to have an account to pay.
PayPal has
Oh.
a swiper too.
Okay,
Just like
well,
Square. So you can get that too.
any other questions?
Has anyone done events like solo, no help whatsoever? Like set up, and like how hard is it to do it like completely on your own? Anybody?
It's not hard. I mean, I haven't had like people beating down my door or, whatever, but I have had, 5 or 6 people sitting at the table at the same time, but I just talk to them all.
Okay.
Now if they have to stay with me, I can't have 4 conversations at once, but I've had people,
Right.
wait around to ask me questions or wait around to order. In fact, when I sold those 4 bottles, it was the exact same. It was all the same people in front of me. So I think everybody was kind of bouncing off each other, and they were all like, well, I want one, I want one, I want one. And I was like, oh, yay, okay, let's.
I've actually had that happen multiple times too, where there would be like 3 people and they'd all they're friends, and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to get one. Oh, well, I think I'll get one too. And then they all end up buying. So it's almost better when they come in groups.
Yeah. And I think it attracts more people because they're like, oh, what's going on over there?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a bunch of people sitting there. But it's not been hard, in my opinion.
It's like being at a good craps table in Vegas.
Yeah.
I've always done them with Brianna and Brittany. So that's just because I don't like sitting there by myself, though.
Well, I usually do take my 10-year-old with me. She just usually isn't even at the table, though. She's trying to buy a bunch of stuff at the vendor events, trying to spend all my money.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, well, I think we will wrap this up then, and I'm going to stop recording, and thanks for joining us tonight.